Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to Randomly Random. I am Boame, your internet bestie. Today, we are watching and reacting to a 2024 thriller titled Reawakening. The plot? John and Mary are struggling to cope with the loss of their daughter Clare, who left home 10 years ago and never returned. But one day, a young woman claiming to be Clare shows up at their doorstep. Ooh. Let's find out what happens. Get your snacks out, get your drinks out, get your popcorn out, and let's get into it.
Clare, a short and slender girl with blue eyes, passionate about sports and music, disappeared 10 years ago. Her grief-stricken parents, John and Mary, are still searching for their daughter in the crowd. Would they even recognize her now, after so many years? Clare Reed left home at the age of 14. The last time surveillance cameras caught sight of her was at King Ross Station in the morning of the same day. Today, on the 10th anniversary of Clare's disappearance, her parents are once again reaching out to the public in the hope.
Guys, I'm sorry. That's the picture when she was 14 looked like she was 14. Come on now. I feel like the picture that they have sort of invented for how she looks 10 years after looks more like she's 14 than the one where they are saying she was 14, okay? I mean, The picture on my left is when she was 14, guys. And the picture on my right is 10 years later, what they think she might look like. I mean, that's my opinion. Compare these two, okay? It's not about her wearing a uniform. Anyway, let's continue. The irony of it.
That someone knows something. A new detective, Dominic Chambers, recently took on the case, but there are still no leads. Despite everything, John and Mary continue to believe their daughter will return. In the evening during dinner, John told his wife that he had taken on a new project. Mary, who works as a kindergarten teacher, shared stories about her day and return. John, knowledgeable about technology, often reminisces about showing his daughter how various mechanisms work. He once gave her a model train as a gift. Mary struggles just as much, talking to the daughter's photograph every night before going to bed. Whenever they leave the house, the couple ensures that flyers about Clare's disappearance are always prominently displayed. John recalls how in the initial days after Clare vanished, his wife refused to eat and began relying on sleeping pills. They both lost the meaning of life. While Mary was at work caring for children, John, an electrician, received a call to fix an electrical panel at a hair salon. He struck up a conversation with one of the employees, noting that she was about the same age as his daughter. But the young woman was not local and hadn't heard about Clare.
I was about to say she kind of looks like Clare. It's just that she's obviously not her, but she looks like her. She kind of looks like her. It's, I would say biology is weird. Because clearly her parents are both blonde, right? Except her father is brunette, but he just has grey hair now. But he looks blonde to me. And when they flash back to when she was a child, she looked really blonde. But in the picture they are circulating, it's like I thought she was brunette or something. But yeah, that's just by the way. Just an observation, right?
Clare Reed. Later on the street, witnessing a quarrel between a couple, John remembered his wife's words, that if they had been gentler with Clare, she might not have run away. At one point, John noticed a girl who looked strikingly like Clare and ran after her, ignoring everyone and everything around him. However, the girl disappeared.
Okay, so they were sort of strict parents, so maybe what if she ran away? Because in the plot, it was stated that she left home and never returned, right? So probably she's not missing, but she made herself disappear, in their lives, right? Let's watch and find out. Let's see what happens. Or maybe she has been kidnapped or even unalived, worst case scenario. It's so sad.
Unable to get the image out of his mind, John drove around the city that evening. He eventually stopped at the cafe owned by his old friend, Bella. They embraced. Bella helps distribute flyers about the missing Clare. All the locals already know John, and whenever someone new appears, he tells them about his daughter in the hope that someone might have seen her. Clare ran away at 14, selling her laptop, phone and everything else of value she owned beforehand. John admits that his daughter was
Oh, so like she literally really ran away. Like they know that she literally ran away because he's saying that she sold her laptop and everything. Okay, so because from the plot, they made it seem like maybe she was sent on an errand and then she never returned, like she was kidnapped or something. So they literally know that she intentionally ran away. Okay. We're getting it, guys. Guys, are you getting it? Are you with me? Let's continue.
Happy and that it was his and Mary's fault. But what kind of father would he be if he gave up trying to find her? Many blame Claire's parents, and John doesn't deny their responsibility. Claire was a difficult teenager. She stole, got into conflicts with others and had problems at school. John is deeply grateful to Bella for her support. This is a
These girls at the table could not care less. But yeah, back to what they were saying, like that they don't feel pity for him. Because I was wondering, I was like, at the start of the movie, when they were showing them at the press conference with the police or whatever, I think they weren't even with the police. I was about to ask, where are the police in this case? And how is it that like the town is not behind them, like rallying behind them? It's weird, because most of the time when a minor goes missing, like the whole neighborhood comes and rallies behind it to find, they form search parties and things like that. But from all the flashbacks they've showed of the time that she went missing, I haven't really seen that. So I was literally wondering. So now I get it. People blame them for her disappearance. Like, why she intentionally disappeared. That's why they could care less. How frustrating that must feel for the parents.
Tragedy for their small town. It is now what unites the couple, the 10-year-long search for their daughter. John's colleagues also support him as much as they can. John, who keeps Claire's photo in his phone at all times, couldn't reach his wife and started to worry. He rushed home, where he found his wife in tears of joy. Mary claimed that their
from the picture of the missing person posters they've been posting. Guys, am I tripping? Remember the missing person poster with the two faces of when she was 14 and what they think she looks like 10 years later? And compared to the picture of him, they don't look nothing alike. Like, most of the time, of course, they might get like a picture of the actor who is missing, like when she was younger, to sort of show continuity in the movie, right? But it looks like they're looking for different people. Because the flashback of her is totally different. Like the little girl was really blonde in that flashback of when she was really young. And then the picture, the missing person poster has like a picture of another girl. And then the picture on his phone is also of another girl. So who is Claire, really? Like they are literally confusing us as watchers. We might not be able to help him find his girl because they are showing us three different people. Like, I get that people grow, that's fine. But at least get actors or get pictures that are the same person at different stages in their lives. Am I tripping?
Daughter had returned. At first John didn't believe it. Mary explained that Claire had been waiting for her outside their house earlier that day. Hearing this, John felt like he couldn't breathe. His wife tried to calm him down. Seeing Claire, now a 24-year-old woman, John still couldn't believe that the person in front of him was his daughter.
Isn't that the girl that was looking at him?
Before his eyes. Claire didn't know how to act and wanted to leave, but her mother wouldn't let her.
See? Guys, did you just see the flashback? Did you realize that there were like three different people they just showed as Claire? So I'm not tripping. Did you guys see that there were like three different girls they tried to show as Claire? And wasn't this the lady that was like staring at him from the coffee shop or something that he tried to run after and didn't catch up to? Okay.
In a panic, John ran out of the house, unable to process what was happening. He returned late, making Mary worry. By that time Claire was already gone. Mary believes they shouldn't pressure Claire to avoid repeating past mistakes. But John doesn't believe it's their daughter, he doesn't recognize her at all. Mary argued that Claire had grown up and changed. A new morning began. Mary looked happier than ever, baking buns and a pie. John asked his wife what their daughter...
It could be 2 or 3 things. 1, because the missing person poster has like a picture of another girl. And then the picture on his phone is also of another girl. So who is Claire, really? Like they are literally confusing us as watchers. We might not be able to help him find his girl. Am I tripping? John seems to tell every new person that comes into town about his daughter's, like his missing daughter. Someone could just be pretending to be her, right? To be taken care of. Maybe somebody who doesn't have parents or a place to live, right? Might be pretending to be her. Because these parents, are grieving, right? 2, it could be that her mother is, that links to my second point, number 2. The mother is grieving so much that at this point she will accept anybody that says she's Claire. Like, her subconscious will believe or will try to literally put stories together. Like, even if the person does not look like Claire and the person claims they are Claire, whatever she can find that may be similar to Claire or whatever the person does that reminds her of Claire just a tiny little bit might convince her that is really Claire. And clearly we can see that is what might be what is happening here, because all of a sudden, this woman was looking so sad throughout the beginning of the movie. Now she's so happy, cooking again, joyous, singing, talking to her husband. When the movie started, she seemed like a dead corpse living, like just waking up for life to just beat her. Just waking up and existing, not living, right? And the third thing, that could really be their daughter. But what is her story? What is her story? Let's watch to find out more.
Had said during their first meeting. According to Mary, Claire only apologized and cried. Mary is absolutely sure it's their daughter. She knew the moment she looked into her eyes. But John is more concerned about what happened during those 10 years. Later, he watched through the window as the person claiming to be their daughter approached their house. Mary offered Claire her favorite lemon pie. Still looking confused, John joined the family breakfast, persistently demanding that the girl explain where she had been all these years and how she had managed to leave no trace. Fearing she might scare Claire off, Mary stated that they didn't have to talk about it now. But unlike his wife, John wasn't willing to pretend everything was fine. Claire simply kept asking for forgiveness over and over again. John recalled a time in the past when Claire had taken something and fallen into a deep sleep. The couple had panicked, calling an ambulance and trying desperately to wake her up. When she finally came to, John...
Okay, this girl kind of looks like the girl in the poster, I will admit. This girl in particular, right? Not the other people they were showing, please. And I sort of understand the dad. It's like, you ran away, you put us through grief, no explanation, nothing. We don't know if you were dead, you were alive, like, we don't know. We didn't know if you've been trafficked somewhere, like, we literally didn't know. And then you just appear and then you want us to just forgive you. Yes, and I feel like it would have been easier if he actually trusts this lady. But because he also has reservations about if she's really his daughter, But I get him. It's like, you just want to show up 10 years later, now that you're 24, and then just live your life without explaining where you were, what happened, why. Yes, they have their reasons why they think you may have run away. But you did the running away, right? You can't just show up and ask for forgiveness and then it's like, oh, okay, we are now one big family again. It takes a lot to forgive her. It takes a lot for the healing to start, because it's like, now they need to learn you all over again. They need to figure you out all over again. It's like, it's also a drastic change to their lives, because for 10 years they were living like they didn't have a child, literally. Like, they were accepting that they might never see her again. They were coming to terms with the fact. Even though they were still grieving and looking for her and all of that. But, yeah, the mental struggle with not knowing where your child is, wow.
Didn't hide his anger. In the present, Mary told her husband that Claire wanted to go to her room. Of course, everything there had stayed the same as it was. The couple watched as Claire examined her room. John thought about the past, trying to figure out if the girl before him could really be their daughter. Mary hugged Claire and told her that everything would be like it was before. Later, Claire revealed that she now had her own home. She also confessed that 10 years ago, she had run away with her boyfriend, who had been her dealer. They lived together for several years until Claire realized that the relationship was destroying her. Now Claire blamed only herself for what had happened and asked her parents for forgiveness.
Until she realized that the relationship was destroying her. And then after that, where has she been? She couldn't write one letter to tell them, hi, I'm okay. Hey, I'm here. Don't worry about me. She couldn't send one text. She couldn't, give them one phone call. Right? If not to even tell them where she is because she doesn't want them to come looking for her. But just to say, hi, I'm fine. It's Claire. This is what happened, but now I've left him and I'm here. I'm good. You waited 10 years later. Why? Why are you back, Claire? Why are you back after 10 years? Why? Why? I don't trust her.
Forgiveness. After breaking up with her boyfriend, Claire hadn't returned to them because she had been too ashamed. Mary hugged her daughter, saying that it was all in the past. But John, looking at this girl, still couldn't accept that she was their Claire. At dinner, John asked her what had happened after she had left her boyfriend. Claire didn't want to talk about it, nor did Mary, who was elated and unwilling to hear anything negative. John insisted that they go to the police and have Claire take a DNA test.
Exactly.
That way they could know for sure. The girl didn't mind.
See, the first thing I asked is, why are they not calling the police? That, oh yeah, a daughter that was reported missing 10 years ago is saying she's back. Like, can we run a DNA test? Can you investigate her? Can you investigate this person that is claiming to be our daughter to find out if she's really our daughter? Where has she been? Like, track her, backtrack her footsteps, Go to the places that she's saying she was and let us know, is she really our daughter? I was literally wondering why they haven't mentioned the police. That was the first thing that they should have brought up.
Unlike Mary, who didn't want the police and press interfering with their newfound family reunion, Claire recalled one of her birthdays.
That's just silly.
It seemed that if she weren't their daughter, she wouldn't have been able to recount such details.
Girl.
But John was still filled with doubt. Later, he tried to calmly talk to her.
Exactly. Anyone could have gotten that information. They might have divulged that information 10 years ago during their press conferences when she was newly missing, right? This person, if she's an imposter, could have actually met the real Claire, and Claire could have told her about her childhood, and she could have just memorized everything Claire was telling her. If this person is an imposter, who knows if she actually killed the real Claire? Like, who knows? Who really knows? Or if the real Claire is dead and this person happened to be her friend, but she has nowhere to go to, so now she's here, trying to pretend to be Claire. I don't trust her, okay? I don't trust her. We need a DNA test to prove that she is really Claire, okay?
His wife. He just felt that the girl wasn't their daughter. Perhaps she knew Claire and her whereabouts, which was why they needed to go to the police as soon as possible. However, Mary refused to acknowledge this.
That makes sense.
She couldn't bear the thought of their daughter disappearing again. John tried to piece together the past and the present. Where was the truth and where was the lie? He couldn't even concentrate on work and decided to follow the girl who worked at the cafe. Mary was always with her. John was convinced that the girl was lying and took her picture. Then he began showing the photo to cafe patrons, asking if they recognized the girl. No one did. Moreover, some even started insulting John, saying the girl didn't really resemble the photos of his daughter from 10 years ago. John didn't understand why his wife refused to see the truth. They had searched for Claire all these years, knowing she had changed, but the heart couldn't be deceived. Claire approached John, who stated that they had nothing to talk about until she took the DNA test. The girl agreed, though she understood her mother wouldn't be happy about it. Before leaving, the girl handed John a gift, the model train, her childhood toy. John didn't know what to do. Who was this girl, and why didn't his wife see the deception? Mary remained adamantly opposed to contacting the police, insisting that they were lucky. They had waited 10 years for this. But John continued to insist that this wasn't their daughter.
That's
Whoever
just
this
stupid.
girl was, she might know.
Ma'am, just take a DNA test. If you are so sure that's your daughter, you should be happier to take the DNA test so that your husband could shut up and stop saying that that is not your child. Shouldn't you? Shouldn't you be happier to take a DNA test as quickly as possible? She's just dragging it. Take a DNA test. It saves both of you time and your investment. If she happens to be your daughter, fine. That's even better. That's even greater. That's better news. If she isn't, she's out of your life sooner than letting some imposter stay in your life if she's not your daughter. This woman is getting me heated. My goodness.
Where the real Claire was now. Mary wouldn't change her mind, doing everything possible to restore her relationship with Claire. They could be a family again. Detective Chambers called the couple, stating that they had a lead, surveillance footage from 7 years ago. Facial recognition software had detected a possible match, but only Claire's parents could confirm if it was really her. Mary didn't want to watch the footage, believing it was pointless. She didn't want to relive the nightmare they had endured for the past 10 years.
It's an American movie.
But John insisted on watching it. The video was...
I've realized like their streets and all don't even seem like American, right? Maybe it's another European country or something. I don't know. Let me know if you've watched the full movie. Is this an American movie or was this movie acted in the States? I thought it was an American movie, but now that I'm thinking about it, looking at like their cafes and the streets he's been on, I don't really see that in American movies. I may be right or wrong, okay? And guys, so far so good. If you're enjoying this watch party with me, like this video. And let me know your thoughts. Do you think that is really Claire or this is just some imposter? Let me know your thoughts, okay? Let's get back into it.
Blurry. Mary immediately declared that it wasn't Claire and walked away. John went to the address where the footage had been recorded and found out that Claire was last seen there about 7 years ago. She introduced herself as Jasmine. No one knew her boyfriend's name. John showed up at Claire's workplace, demanding the truth and asking her to stop tormenting them. Mary stood up for Claire, asking her husband to stop. But he kept repeating that this wasn't their daughter. Suddenly Mary admitted that she knew this wasn't their daughter. Moreover, she was certain that Claire had been dead for a long time. Yes, she ran away from home, but she hadn't been so unhappy as to leave forever. Claire would have come to her senses and returned. If she didn't, it could only mean she was gone. This girl who was pretending to be Claire must have known her, but it didn't matter anymore. Mary was ready to turn a blind eye to the truth and live in the illusion that their daughter had come back. John refused to accept that their real daughter would never return to them and broke down in tears. Mary hugged him. This wasn't
See? I told you guys, this woman is delusional. I told you guys that this woman has gotten to a point where, that was my second point. The second option. That she must have gotten to a point where now she would just accept anybody that comes as her daughter. Just to have that sort of closure. She knows this is not her daughter. She knows that the lady that showed up is an imposter. But, ma'am, you know that the woman is an imposter. Yes, you've accepted her, but why do you want your husband to accept her as his child? Like, he has his right. He has his right not to accept that is his daughter. The fact that you are delusional and will accept anybody that shows up as your daughter does not mean that this man should do the same. Oh, Lord.
Supposed to happen. No parent deserved this. The couple sat in the car in silence for a long time. All these years John had been Mary's support, never letting her lose hope. But now he was broken. That evening they had dinner together as a family. Mary shared that Claire had enrolled in a hairdressing college as a part-time student. Of course John couldn't genuinely feel happy for Claire, knowing she was just a liar. And nothing could change that fact.
It's like the
Mary
woman has
was
a mental
genuinely trying,
illness.
but for what? Later, John directly asked the girl if they really meant that much to her. They celebrated Mary's birthday at a restaurant, playing the part of a happy family. After the celebration, Mary
goodness.
thanked her husband for doing all this
Now
for
they are
her.
all delulu
The
together.
couple confessed their love for each other. One day John met with Bella. When she asked how he was, he replied that everything was fine.
They are all living
Meanwhile,
in delulu land
Mary
together.
wasn't worried about anything, enjoying shopping with Claire. At home, everyone preferred to act as if nothing unusual was happening.
What?
After dinner, Claire approached John and admitted that many years ago, she had met Claire in Manchester. They had looked so much alike that many people thought they were twins. Unlike Claire, this girl had no parents or home. But Claire had traded all that for an immoral lifestyle and substances, which ultimately destroyed her. The girl said she had never understood Claire. She hadn't wanted to hurt anyone.
I told you guys. I told you guys. Did I not say it? Did I not say that? I am sure this girl may be an imposter who doesn't have parents or didn't have a good life or something, and so just saw it as an opportunity to just show up and have love in her life because she knows these parents are desperate. Guys, give me my tens in the comments. Give me my tens in the comments because I predicted this. Give me my tens in the comments, okay? I don't want to hear. Give me my tens in the comments because what? See how I'm able to just predict movies now? See how I'm able to just like I may be a movie prophet. Let's continue.
She just wanted to have a family and feel cared for. Hearing this, John could barely contain his emotions. Only now did he fully realize that Clare would never return. This was reality. All John could do was accept it, but soon the detective called him again. The police had found new leads, including Clare's bracelet. The question now was where her body was and who was responsible for this. For 10 years John had lived on hope, but now it had completely crumbled. Mary, however, continued to live in the illusion that their daughter had returned. This was what both Mary and the imposter needed. One way or another, life went on. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel not to miss more exciting new products.
I'm telling you guys.
Also,
I don't care if they didn't tell us what really happened. But look, they ended so climatically, like with such a suspensive sort of ending. They didn't even tell us the imposter's real name. Realize the narrator himself is calling her the imposter. She never even mentioned her real name. These people don't know her. This woman is delusional, has accepted this girl as her child, and I guess do what makes you happy, I guess. Do what makes you happy at the expense of your husband who has been with you, been grieving with you for the past 10 years, been holding you down for the past 10 years is happiness too, right? Do what makes you happy at the expense of his worry, his happiness, his concerns. Guys, this is just a movie, this is just like one of those movies we just watch to, while away time, enjoy ourselves and just just watch for watching's sake. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of this movie, right? What will you rate it? I would rate this movie, I feel like I may have been bored watching the full movie, but the suspense of knowing if the girl is an imposter or for real may have just been the one thing that may have kept me going, But yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm not going to look for the full movie, I would give this movie like a 5 out of 10, a 5 out of 10. It's a chill average movie to watch, right? Nothing big, nothing much, nothing special about it, nothing different about it. I feel like there are a lot of different movies with the same storyline, just like this, right? So a lot of Lifetime movies are like this, and I watch a lot of Lifetime movies. A lot of 90s, 2000s Lifetime movies, you catch me there. Most of them are sort of imposter sort of movies, right? Yeah, and generally 90s movies, right? So, yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for sticking around with me. Please do like this video. Help a girl push the video in the algorithm. And until the next video, don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.